Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I am genuinely so excited to have you here today because we're breaking down a fascinating, highly tactical survival guide for the rapidly shifting AI landscape of 2026. The rules of business, startups, and even personal branding are being rewritten literally week by week. So today we're going to unpack exactly how you can not just survive, but actively dominate this totally new era.
$215 million. Yeah, you heard that right. That massive valuation belongs to Opus Clip, an AI startup that turns long-form videos into viral short clips. But what's truly mind-blowing here is that its co-founder and CEO, Young, built this company to a user base of 50 million people in just 2.5 years. And look, he didn't do it by just getting lucky. He did it by following a very specific playbook, and that is exactly what we're dissecting today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because this is the ultimate question staring down literally every solopreneur, creator, and founder right now. How on earth do you build a profitable AI startup when massive language models are advancing weekly and big tech giants like Google and Microsoft are just eating everything in their path? I mean, if they can copy your main feature over a weekend, how do you even survive?
To answer that, here is our roadmap for the explainer. First, surviving the AI gold rush. Second, ditch the cool demo. Third, the 30-day AI playbook. Fourth, beating big tech giants. And finally, number 5, the creator's future edge. Let's get right to it. Section 1. Surviving the AI gold rush. High stakes in the 2026 market.
In this high-stakes market where the barrier to entry has essentially dissolved, the path to success isn't a straight line. Just look at Young's really gritty early journey. In month 1, they launched a live streaming tool that pretty much nobody liked. But they noticed this tiny signal. People actually liked the clipping feature. So in month 6, they pivoted. But here's the absolute genius part. By month 8, they didn't even build a fancy interface. They just manually used AI to edit clips and emailed them directly to users. Then they built a simple Discord bot just to measure retention. They manually validated the actual value before writing any of the heavy code. That gritty, boots-on-the-ground validation is how they eventually evolved into a massive multi-agent system reaching 50 million users.
Young drops this incredibly heavy quote that perfectly highlights the intense stakes we're dealing with. He says, "Every AI founder should be somehow AGI prepared, which means that you can predict what the financial models can release in the next few weeks or months. You simply cannot just build for today. If you aren't anticipating the rapid, relentless advancements of these baseline models, you risk building a product that gets completely obsolete by next Tuesday. You've got to skate to where the puck is going, not where it is right now."
Section 2. Ditch the cool demo, solving real pain in the real world.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast it draws between a cool demo and a real business. On one side, the demo looks like total magic. People say, wow, but nobody actually asks for your pricing tier, and definitely nobody is taking out their credit card. It's basically a shiny toy. On the other side is the real business. Now, this might not look quite as flashy on Twitter, but it actively replaces a grueling, tedious workflow that people are currently suffering through manually or paying other humans extra money to solve for them.
To get to that real business, you need to forget the old idea of software as a service. Young calls it service as a software. This is a fundamental shift in how you look at building tools today. You are taking an existing, boring, manual service, say hiring a freelance editor, going back and forth on messy revisions, dealing with huge delays, and you're digitizing that entire chaotic service into an automated end-to-end software workflow. You aren't just selling a tool anymore. You are selling the fully completed job.
So the absolutely crucial point here is clarity. Young uses what he calls the 10-word rule. If you can explain your product's true value in just 10 words, you're close to a real business. But if you need a rambling 5-minute monologue to explain why your AI tool is useful, you honestly haven't found your product market fit yet. Clarity is king. You have to know exactly whose pain you are solving and exactly how you're solving it.
Section 3. The 30-day AI playbook, from idea to reality.
If you are starting all over today, Young says it happens in 3 rapid-fire phases. Phase 1, segment a hyper-niche market. You need to deeply, fundamentally understand their specific workflow and pain points. Phase 2, speed is literally everything. Use AI coding tools like Cursor to build a working proof of concept in just 2 days. Seriously, not 2 months, 2 days. This allows you to immediately hit Phase 3, putting it right in front of users to validate the actual value, figure out if they'll actually pay for it, and start identifying what proprietary data you can collect to build a real defensive moat.
So how do you actually price this thing once it's built? Well, it's an exact science. You benchmark your pricing directly against the time and money the manual task currently costs your user. If a manual editor costs $50 an hour, your software needs to clearly demonstrate massive savings against that specific benchmark. You also must factor in high AI inference costs right from day one. Survey your ideal customer profile ruthlessly to find that pricing sweet spot. And perhaps the hardest part for any founder, you have to be willing to say no to 70% of early users who simply don't fit your exact target profile.
And this brilliantly illustrates a hidden trap that actually bankrupts a lot of early founders. You might think inference, the computational cost of running the AI model itself, is your only big expense. But Young warns that while storage costs might only be, say, 5% on day one, if you are handling rich media like video, those storage costs will quietly balloon over 3 to 5 years until they consume half of your total cost of goods sold. Half! You have to plan your business model for this reality right out of the gate.
Section 4. Beating Big Tech Giants. Niche down and own the workflow. Beating the giants starts by fundamentally understanding the difference between an AI wrapper and an agentic workflow. An AI wrapper is just a simple prompt interface sitting on top of something like ChatGPT. And guys, it is a death sentence. The moment OpenAI or Google updates their base model, your wrapper is totally wiped out. To survive, you must build an agentic workflow. This is an autonomous system. In Opus Clip's case, they built an AI director that autonomously orchestrates multiple subagents, designers, scriptwriters, researchers, all working together seamlessly to complete a complex end-to-end job. You have to own the entire workflow, not just one single feature.
So here are your ultimate rules for dodging big tech. Pick an unbelievably small vertical market. Do not go after the cool industries. They're literally 100 times more competitive. Instead, you want to solve a massive, painful problem in a highly, beautifully boring industry. Never build a feature that a giant platform like Zoom or Google Meet can just easily bundle into their next big update. And importantly, you don't actually need a deep emotional passion for the boring niche itself. You just need the passion of a builder who loves solving really complex problems.
Section 5. The Creator's Future Edge. Uniqueness over execution.
Young shares this profound analogy here that absolutely hits the nail on the head. He says, think about carriages versus cars. 100 years ago, being fast was a privilege. Now, everyone drives, but there are still Formula One drivers. Right now, AI is basically giving everyone a car. It is completely removing the old technical barriers to entry for things like editing, designing, and coding. But listen, just because everyone can drive doesn't mean everyone is a standout, elite driver, right?
The harsh reality is that mediocre content will no longer survive. The playing field is totally level now. The new edge is entirely human. Think about all those hours you used to spend executing the dirty work, editing frame by frame, color correcting, doing tedious layout. That time hasn't vanished. It must now be aggressively reinvested into unique storytelling, perfecting your narrative, your specific tone, and your messaging. In a world of AI abundance, your uniqueness is literally your only remaining moat. Let's move to the next point and see how this all builds together, because honestly, none of this works without foundational personal discipline. You've got to segment your time into highly focused 5-minute buckets so you can switch context rapidly without losing your momentum. You absolutely must protect your physical health and your sleep. And critically, you need to elevate how you use AI. Stop using chatbots just to write polite emails. Treat them as highly senior thinking partners. Young actually documents his daily leadership decisions, feeds them to an AI, and reviews them monthly to get executive coaching and spot his own blind spots. It's a real game changer. Which leaves us with a critical challenge, and something I want you to really think about. When did you last review your daily decisions with your AI thinking partner? Are you just using AI to do neat little parlor tricks, or are you actively treating it as a strategic board of directors to make you a sharper, faster, and much more effective operator? The playbook for 2026 is already here, folks. The only question is, how quickly are you going to adapt? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Start building, stay focused, and I will catch you on the next one.